Hello everyone, welcome to my 420 spot news of the day. We have some breaking news out of Idaho today. Sad day in the cannabis community, with Idaho Senate passes measure to block marijuana legalization, even if voters approve it, on the ballot. So the Idaho Senate says, who cares what the voters say? We know what's best for you. Our dictatorship rules. Here is the story in the news today. The Idaho Senate approved to amend the state constitution on Wednesday to prevent marijuana, or other drugs, from being legalized. The House may follow suit, which could pose serious difficulties to activists who seek to put cannabis reform measures on the ballot in Idaho in 2022. Senate State Affairs Committee passed the resolution along party lines last week. If the House passes it with a 2/3 majority, it will appear on the midterm election ballot. The measure states that such drugs can't be produced, manufactured, transported, sold, dispensed, distributed, possessed, or used in the state of Idaho. The Food and Drug Administration's approved substances would be exempt, but it would effectively jeopardize efforts to implement a medical cannabis program that looks anything like those in other legal states. The issue that advocates face is that, should the legislature ultimately approve the measure, the resulting constitutional initiative will take precedence over any statutory legalization that appears alongside it, regardless of the margin that any measure ultimately wins by. While activists are working to collect signatures on an initiative to legalize medical cannabis, a separate group is preparing to place adult use legalization before voters. For the Senate-approved resolution, it is reasonable and necessary to enact constitutional change, because it is showing a profound negative impact on the citizens of Idaho. Activists say the proposal is the opposite of reasonable, and is intended to undermine democracy by misleading voters by failing to explain in detail how the measure will impact medical cannabis reform, while referring to psychoactive drugs. Here's the language of the constitutional amendment that the lawmakers hope to place before voters. Shall Article 3 of the Constitution of the State of Idaho be amended by the addition of a new Section 30 to provide that the production, manufacture, transportation, sale, delivery, dispensing, distribution, possession, or use of certain psychoactive drugs shall not be lawful in the state of Idaho unless such drugs are a. approved by the Federal Food and Drug Administration and permitted by the state, b. lawfully prescribed, and c. lawfully dispensed, if approved. Idaho's medical marijuana legalization measure, and another initiative to legalize cannabis recreationally, would be null and void, no matter whether a majority of Idahoans approves either one. In addition to the resolution, a Republican lawmaker plans to push a bill this session that advocates claim would seriously limit medical marijuana. Advocates worry that if the legislation passes, it would undermine any measures that may go to voters next year, giving the impression that the state already has an effective medical cannabis system in place, and raising questions about why they would need to approve a second medical cannabis reform. As of right now, most states in the region already have legalization on the books, with Montana voters approving the changes last November. A campaign to place medical cannabis reform on the 2020 Idaho ballot was abandoned because of the coronavirus outbreak. Advocates briefly thought a federal court ruling would help them qualify last November, but that was overturned by an appeals court. Meanwhile, activists in Nebraska are also trying to put an adult-use cannabis measure on the ballot in 2022. The state Supreme Court also rejected a medical marijuana legalization measure last year as a technicality. Idaho voters need to get busy calling, writing the Senate and the House and tell them not to do this. We need legalization, not incarceration. Drug treatment centers, not jailhouses. Cannabis is medicine, not a drug. Wow, this just hurts my heart. Breaking news by My420Spot. Have a great day.